8 habits that reveal hidden depression. Let's get right into it. Number 1. Always staying busy or overworking. Here's a little psychological plot twist. Not everyone who's depressed looks like they're curled up in bed watching the ceiling fan spin for hours. In fact, some of them look like the busiest people you know. You might even admire their work ethic, the way they're constantly hustling, scrubbing dishes that are already clean, or signing up for every committee at work like they're auditioning for Employee of the Year. But here's the truth. That relentless busyness often isn't about productivity, it's about escape. When you're dealing with hidden depression, silence becomes dangerous. Quiet moments mean thoughts creep in, and those thoughts aren't exactly uplifting. So instead you keep moving. You bury yourself in spreadsheets, hobbies, or cleaning sprees, not because you love it, but because sitting still feels unbearable. Think of it like drowning out a smoke alarm with a marching band. Sure, the noise helps you forget the problem for a while, but the fire is still there. And here's the irony. From the outside, people might say, "Wow, you've got it all together." Meanwhile, inside, you're sprinting away from a brain that won't stop whispering, "You're not enough." Number 2. Joking around but rarely opening up. If comedians taught us anything, it's that humor is often stitched together from pain. People with hidden depression can be the funniest ones in the room, the kind who make you laugh so hard you forget what you were even sad about. But here's the catch. They're the ones laughing the loudest while secretly carrying the heaviest load. It's the classic happy mask. Crack a joke, change the subject, distract everyone. Humor becomes the camouflage, the smoke screen that hides the fact that opening up feels too risky. After all, it's easier to say, "Yeah, life's a joke," than it is to say, "Actually, I feel like I'm crumbling inside." The cruel part? People notice the humor but miss the exhaustion. You see the entertainer, not the person who goes home and feels drained, hollow, or even invisible. It's like watching a magician. Everyone claps for the trick, but no one asks how much their hands are shaking behind the curtain. So, next time you meet the person who's always cracking jokes but dodges real conversations, don't just assume they're the life of the party. Sometimes they're fighting to keep the lights on in their own mind. Number 3. Sleeping too much or struggling with insomnia. Your bed can be either your worst enemy or your most addictive drug. For someone with hidden depression, sleep isn't just about rest, it's about escape. Some people sleep way too much, clocking in marathon sessions that would make a hibernating bear jealous. Why? Because unconsciousness is a break from a mind that won't shut up. On the flip side, some can't sleep at all. They toss, turn, and stare at the ceiling like it's going to start playing a movie. Their brain won't stop rerunning the greatest hits of every awkward thing they've ever said since 3rd grade. So, instead of peaceful dreams, they get insomnia and dark under-eye circles that could pass for designer bags. Both extremes, oversleeping and insomnia, are signals that the brain is in distress. The sleep cycle gets hijacked because your body is trying to either numb the pain or wrestle with it. And the saddest part? People around you might just say, "Wow, you must be tired," not realizing that sleep is being used as a shield against reality. So whether you're snoozing through alarms or counting sheep until sunrise, the problem isn't laziness, it's that your brain is desperately trying to cope. Number 4. Unstable eating habits. Here's another way depression sneaks into everyday life: your plate. Hidden depression often shows up as chaotic eating habits. For some, food becomes optional. They lose their appetite, skip meals, and suddenly forget that humans need calories to live. For others, food becomes therapy. Bad day? There's a pizza for that. Feeling empty? Well, half a tub of ice cream will fill the void for about 20 minutes. The science behind this is pretty fascinating. Depression messes with neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, the same chemicals that regulate both your mood and your appetite. When they're out of balance, your relationship with food swings like a pendulum. You're either ignoring hunger signals completely or mistaking emotional pain for physical hunger. From the outside, these shifts might look harmless. "Oh, you're just dieting," or "You must really love snacks." But underneath, it's less about food and more about control. Meals become a way to either numb emotions or avoid them altogether. And let's be honest, scarfing down chips at 2 a.m. doesn't actually solve existential dread. It just gives you crumbs in your bed and regret in the morning. Number 5. Constant self-criticism. If depression had a soundtrack, it would be that inner voice that won't shut up about how you're not good enough. People with hidden depression often turn into their own harshest critics. Did you send an email with a typo? Congratulations, your brain will remind you for the next 3 years. Did you forget to reply to a text? Suddenly, you're the worst friend in the history of humankind. This constant self-criticism isn't just being a little hard on yourself. It's a full-time mental sport where you obsess over mistakes that don't matter and magnify flaws no one else notices. Psychologists call it negative self-talk, but honestly, it feels more like having an unhelpful roommate living in your skull, shouting, "You're a burden," every time you drop a fork. And here's the kicker. Even when you do something right, you'll still downplay it. A promotion? I just got lucky. A compliment? They're just being polite. It's exhausting because your brain never lets you feel enough. The sad irony? People around you probably see you as capable, hardworking, or even talented, but you're too busy holding yourself to impossible standards to believe it. It's like standing in the middle of a sunny field with sunglasses so dark you can't see the light. Number 6. Subtle social withdrawal. When most people think of depression, they imagine total isolation, someone ghosting all their friends and cutting off every social tie. But hidden depression often works more subtly. Instead of disappearing completely, you start making excuses. I'm busy, I'm tired, maybe next week. And before you know it, every invitation gets pushed back like a Netflix show you swear you'll watch eventually. This isn't about hating people. In fact, many secretly crave connection. The problem is, depression drains energy like a phone with a cracked battery, always dying faster than it should. Just the thought of socializing feels overwhelming, even if you know it might help. The tricky part is that others don't notice right away. You're still showing up occasionally, still replying with the occasional ha-ha in the group chat. But emotionally, you are already pulling away, retreating into a shell where it feels safer not to be seen. Think of it like turning down the volume on life. You're not gone, you're just quieter, less present, fading into the background. And sadly, most people around you never realize it's depression whispering, "Stay home, hide." Number 7. Difficulty feeling genuine joy. Imagine finally getting the thing you wanted, a promotion, a trip, maybe even that new gadget you saved up for. You should be excited, right? But instead of joy, all you feel is nothing. It's like buying a cake and realizing someone forgot to add sugar. Looks great, tastes empty. This is one of the cruelest tricks of hidden depression. It doesn't always take away your ability to laugh. You can still chuckle at a funny meme or smile when your dog does something ridiculous. But the spark is gone. The laughter doesn't reach your chest. The happiness doesn't stick. And even when life gives you good moments, your brain quietly whispers, "It's not enough." Psychologists call this anhedonia, the loss of pleasure in things you used to enjoy. It happens because depression messes with your brain's reward system, essentially turning down the volume on positive emotions. That's why even hobbies or achievements that once lit you up now feel dull and flat. To the outside world, you look fine. You're laughing, participating, maybe even posting smiling selfies. But inside, it feels like watching your own life through a glass window, close enough to see it, but too far to feel it. Number 8. Perfectionism or over-control. Here's the paradox. While depression can make some people feel like they're losing control, others cope by going the opposite route, chasing perfection in everything. The idea is simple. If you can control every detail on the outside, maybe you won't have to face the chaos on the inside. That's why hidden depression often hides behind spotless kitchens, color-coded planners, and emails triple-checked before sending. On the surface, it looks like discipline. Underneath, it's fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged, fear that if even one thing slips, everything else will come crashing down. Perfectionism becomes a shield. You're not folding the towels just right because you love neatness. You're doing it because the thought of imperfection feels unbearable. You're not working overtime because you're ambitious. You're doing it because slowing down means the sadness might catch up. The cruel irony? The pursuit of perfection never actually fixes the pain. Instead, it feeds the cycle, more pressure, more anxiety, more exhaustion. And no matter how flawless things look on the outside, the inside still feels like a storm. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.